Hello and welcome back to The Offensive Line. We're your hosts, Josh and Hanson. And we're back this week with another Christian cliche. The entire purpose of this season is to help you think through common Christian sayings and practices, because most of them are so misleading that they cause more confusion than clarity. They can give the completely wrong idea about a Christian truth. And that's the case with this one, which is God won't give you more than you can handle.
The way that a lot of these Christian cliches come about was that someone somewhere did something or said something based off of a Bible verse. And in the specific context the Christian cliche first arose, maybe it made sense. But then people took the cliche and used it so much that it was just assumed that it was biblical. And that's the case with this saying. God will never give you more than you can handle never actually appears in the Bible.
Instead, it's an attempt to paraphrase 1 Corinthians 10:13, which says, "No temptation has overtaken you, but such as is common to man. And God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able, but with the temptation will provide the way of escape also, so that you will be able to endure it." And even though it sounds pretty similar to our saying of the week, it actually misses the mark by just enough that it's horribly misleading, if not explained.
Actually, one of my friends used this exact statement to me years ago. And it was actually pretty comforting to me when he used it. But it wasn't until a little later that I realized how off the saying can be. See, rather than just giving this Christian cliche, maybe we should just actually use the verse in the Bible. And in general, I think it's actually a good idea to quote the Bible instead of giving a Christian cliche. But let's take a closer look at this cliche.
God won't give you more than you can handle. More of what though? More temptation? But the thing is that God doesn't give us temptation. James 1:13 says, "Let no one say when he is tempted, I am being tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted by evil, and he himself does not tempt anyone." Temptation does not come from God. In the very next verse, James says that we are each tempted when we are enticed by our own lust.
Well, if not temptation, then maybe it's trials. But we see that over and over again in the Bible that there are those who are given more than they can handle. An example of this is the prophet Jeremiah. Throughout his life, he continued to preach repentance to the people of Israel, and it was this preaching that caused him to be beaten, plotted against, and rejected by everyone, even his own family. And he lamented time and time again about this fact.
The Apostle Paul is another example of this. In 2 Timothy 3, he lists all the things he went through. And he doesn't do it to boast about how he endured it all in his own strength. He wrote about these things so that we would know that God will always give us more than we can handle. But even still, we can get through them when we rely on the power and mercy of God. The problem with this cliche is that it misleads Christians into thinking they can handle anything by themselves.
But the reality is that they can't. Throughout history, Christians regularly experienced more than they could handle. And when they did, they cried out to God for help. In 1 Corinthians 10:13, we weren't promised troubles we could handle. We were promised help through the troubles. 1 Corinthians 10:13 is saying that you will not be tempted beyond your strength, and with the temptation, God will provide a way of escape.
Hopefully that was another encouraging video for you. If it was, please give us a like and share it with your friends. You can subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more behind the scenes footage. We are The Offensive Line, and this season we are uncomplicating the complicated. We'll see you next week. I should have a segment called Supernatural Catches. Supernatural Plays.